Hello and welcome to Humzabaan, your go-to destination for learning Urdu. My name is Tanzeel Rahman, and in today's lesson, we are going to talk about Urdu alphabets. So first, we're going to start with the first letter of Urdu alphabet, which is called Alif. And as you would know, Alif is the first letter. Normally, if you would see here, in the shape of the letter is something like this that you see on the screen. The name of the letter is Alif and the sound is A. The object that we have, or what it represents, is Amrud. Now what we will do, we'll go through, and if you will find that there are multiple groups of letters based on their shapes. So for example, we would have the second letter, which is Bay. Now in this, there are multiple. So if you would see on the screen, this is the flattened shape of Bay. An important thing to see in Urdu script is this particular element that you see here, which is called a nukta. This thing which is called a nukta. Now, nukta could be one or more, and the placement of nukta results into the sound that that alphabet or that letter carries. Now, in here, for example, the letter is called Be. The sound is Ba. And the thing or the object or the phenomena it is representing is Barish, because Barish starts with Be. Similar to Be, you have the letters which are similar shapes. So you have another letter which is called Pe, giving the Pa sound. And for example, Patang, which comes from Pe. You will have another letter with a similar shape which is called Te. And Te we can use Te to start the word Tala. Similar to Te, similar shape that you will find is another one which is called Te. But one thing that you will find here, that there is another special symbol which is not nukta. So if you see here, there to represent Te, you have something which we will eventually figure out is called Tue, which we put on the Be-like structure and it becomes Te. Now, Te comes from, you can have the sound that it will give you is Ta, and the word for this would be, say, tomato. Now, Te is not either from Arabic or Persian. Is a very much an Indian sound, and this is one letter which may come from the Indian languages. Now, similarly, if we go further on this, this is one group. The other letter in this group would be Se. Now, this is which gives the sound Sa. For example, Sabut comes from this letter. Now, these are one set of letters. Similarly, you have another shape. So, for example, we will move to the next one. If you see on the screen, it's called Jim. Now, Jim, the letter is called Jim. The sound is J. The word could be Jahaz. The shape of this letter has a very interesting story. For example, people who used to call that Jim in Arabic, for example, Jim is like if you would see here, it's like a stretched neck of a camel. You see here, it's a stretched neck of a camel. And basically, camel is called Jamal in Arabic. So the shape represents a neck of a camel, and hence that particular name. So Jim, again, there are multiple such letters that we will find here in the Jim family. You have Jim. You also have, if you see here, the next one is called Che. Che, the sound is Cha, and the word could be Chamcha, for example. Similarly, you have another one called He. You will also find a similar sounding letter called Choti He, but He could stand for, say, halwa that you see on your screen. And the letter is called He, and the sound that it gives you is Ha. Another variation of the same, but you will find a nukta on the top. It's called Khe. And the Khe, you can have the word called Khargosh. And the sound that it gives you is Kha. Now, this completes another group that we just looked. Now, you will find there's another shape appearing on your screen. This one is called Dal. The word is called Dal, as in the name of the letter is called Dal, and the sound is the. There is another variation, if you see here, similar to that we saw in T sound. We've been looking at T or Te. we have another similar symbol sitting on top of dal, for example, if you see here. Now that makes this dal, and the sound that you get is da. And for example, in here you will have dabba as a word which comes from dal. Moving ahead, we have another one called zal, which gives you the sound. And for example, zira is the word that could come from here. This completes another group. Now you have another group appearing on your screen. You will find this one. This is called re for rasta. The letter is called re, gives the sound ra. Another variation of it, again similar to the one that we saw earlier, the symbol keeps appearing. This one is called re, and no word starts with re. However, it is used very frequently. For example, in kuda or ghoda. So that is another sound that comes. Then you have ze, which gives you z sound. For example, zameen comes from here. You have another one. If you see here, it's a ze, but it has got, you will have three noktas which appear on ze, but they make the sound je, like television, for example. And there are words that start. For example, in this case, we have created a word, or know the word jolida, which basically means entangled, right? So this is another letter. Then we get to a couple of other groups. The one that you see on your screen is called seen, gives you sir sound. And we had seen earlier another letter, but for now this is seen, sir sound. For example, sahil comes from this letter. You have sheen, which is seen with three noktas on top, which is, for example, sharbat comes from sheen. Then you have swad. Swad is another sir sound. So we have seen, which was gives us sir sound, but swad also gives some sort of a sir sound. And sabun, for example, could be from this letter, sad. We have got zod, and zod is a z sound, and for example, zaif, the word zaif could come from zod. You have toe, which gives us t sound, and for example, taq could be another one. And you see here the name is toe, while the sound is ta. Similarly, you have a variation of toe, which has got a nukta. It's called zoe, and zoe has got z. You can look at the screen. You will find the famous Bollywood villains here. So we're just using them as a proxy for zalim. So then you have another set of letters. You have an. An gives us a sound, a kind of a sound. For example, anak, word that would come from an. You have another variation of it that you would see is called ghain. For example, ghar is a word which comes from ghain. The letter is called ghain. Sound that it gives you is gha. Then after an and ghain, you have another set of letters. For example, one that we have here, similar to a base shape that you would see. But important thing about this is that it has got a nokta on top. And this one is called fe. For example, favara, the fur sound comes from this. You have similar, more roundish, but two more noktas on top. It's called qaf, and it gives you qa sound. For example, qalam comes from this letter. We have got a couple of other letters. For example, kaf. You see here, this one, kaf. Kaf gives you k sound. Kamra would come from kaf. You would have gaf, which is a variation on kaf, but it gives you g sound. For example, gulab comes from gaf. We will have lam, which gives us l sound. For example, libas comes from lam. You have mim, which gives you m sound. You will have Masiqi, masjid, which comes from meme. You have another sound similar to the shape, if you would see, is very similar to qaf, but it doesn't have, it is open and it has a nokta inside, and it's called noon. And for example, naan could be something which we could use from noon. The letter's name is noon. The sound that it gives you is na. Now, if, for example, we move over, you will find vow. And Wow gives you a sound of V. It also works as a vowel that we will come to know later and can give us O sound or U sound or O sound. But it gives us the sound of V. For example, Varap is something that Wow can start with. You have got another Hey. We looked at Hey before, but there's another Hey. It's called Choti Hey. And for example, Hal is something that can come from Choti Hai. There's another version of Hai, and we call it Do Chashmi Hai. And if you see here, it's basically two Choti Hais, like two eyes put together. This is introduced in Urdu primarily for the purpose of representing Hindi letters. For example, dha or tha or tha, they become ta and do chashmi together. It becomes tha, or dal or do chashmi together becomes dha. So nothing starts as such from do chashmi, but it combines with another letter and gives you a sound. Another one that we have got, which is called Hamza. Hamza is again, it's not something that something starts with Hamza, but Hamza is used where you have a continuation of two vowels. We'll talk about this when we discuss vowels in more details, but that's another one that is for our understanding. We have got two ye. One is called choti ye, which gives us year sound. For example, in yad, we have badi ye, which is used usually in the end to give a sound. For example, are, a. So those kind of things that can come in. So these are the letters that we have in Urdu alphabet. As you would see, it is an introduction to the Urdu letters. As you know, in Humzabaan, on the app that we have in both Android and iOS, you will find more details, examples, where you can practice, you can take quizzes, you can listen to the songs about these letters and learn in much more detail. So thank you for your time and happy learning. We have many more such topics that we will be covering, which then you can further learn from the app and experience Urdu at its best.